It was a bright Saturday morning, perfect for a pool party. My ranch's newly renovated pool glimmered under the sun, steam rising slightly from the heated water as I prepared the area with lounge chairs, umbrellas, and refreshments. Invitations had gone out to a select group of friends, but word quickly spread through the neighborhood thanks to a certain HOA member, Karen. I wasn't surprised when I saw her name pop up in my messages. 9/11. Your pool party is a disturbance to the community. At first, I chuckled. Karen had a long history of overreacting to harmless activities, but this time she was biting off more than she could chew. She claimed that hosting a pool party violated several HOA rules, citing noise, traffic, and unapproved gatherings. What she didn't know was that this particular gathering had some very high-profile guests. The governor's family had confirmed their attendance, along with several local dignitaries. This wasn't just a casual pool party. It was a political and social event under my roof. By early afternoon, my guests started arriving, greeted by the serene ambience of the ranch, the clear blue water, and the carefully curated music playlist. Just as the party hit its stride, my phone buzzed with the news. Karen had called the cops again. According to her, the event was a violation of community standards. I smiled. Let her call. Her misunderstanding would be her undoing. Within 20 minutes, a convoy of law enforcement vehicles rolled onto the property. Officers approached cautiously, likely expecting a chaotic scene. Instead, they were met with elegance, order, and hospitality. The governor's family was in attendance, mingling with guests, enjoying drinks, and laughing in the sunshine. I greeted the officers with a polite nod and explained, calmly, that this was a private event on private property. Karen arrived shortly after, fuming and waving papers in her hand. She demanded to see permits and compliance records, insisting that the gathering was illegal. I leaned back in my chair, smiling as the officers reviewed the situation. They quickly recognized the obvious. All activities were lawful, the property was private, and the HOA had no jurisdiction. Karen's face turned a shade of red that matched the pool's perfectly heated water. Not to let the day's victory go unnoticed, I decided to turn the tables. With a grin, I invited the officers and governor's family into the pool area for refreshments, turning what was meant to be a confrontation into an afternoon of enjoyment. Karen tried to interject, claiming procedural violations, but the officers politely informed her that her claims were baseless. She was effectively shut out, humiliated in front of the community. By evening, the party had wound down. The pool sparkled under the setting sun. Guests departed with smiles, and Karen had left, fuming and plotting her next futile attempt at interference. The story of the day spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. HOA Karen had tried to shut down a private party, only to discover she had no authority over the property and that the governor's family had attended. As the night settled over my ranch, I took a final walk by the pool. The water shimmered under the moonlight, and the quiet hum of nature reminded me that on my land, I set the rules. Karen's interference had backfired spectacularly, reinforcing a simple truth. On my property, respect for boundaries wasn't optional, and authority wasn't up for debate. The pool glistened as a symbol of victory, a lesson in humility for those who thought they could overstep. Karen's calls to 911 might have been loud, but they were ultimately meaningless. Here, on my ranch, control, dignity, and order prevailed, and everyone knew it.